So how many of you really did focus on institutional-based salary in the past? Yeah, so a lot of us have already been focusing on that. And I will say, coming from in Cambridge, the medical school's on one side of the river and the university's on the other. I came from the side of the river that had the easier way of dealing with institutional-based salary, because it was, in the medical school, it's 12-month salaries. The 9-month salaries are tough. The thing that is interesting is the key to all of this is the appointment letter. And one of the things that I've found is that it really means coordinating with the Faculty Affairs Office. That I had actually an interchange with the head of Faculty Affairs for the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, that she didn't really understand what was and what wasn't institutional-based salary, and was saying, well, can't you just not count that? And some of it's actually an education process, because what they put in that appointment letter becomes the basis for salary. And that becomes the basis that must be charged on all federal awards. So what is in institutional-based salary? So I always think of it as, what is the guaranteed salary? What was the faculty member told in their annual appointment letter, and hopefully there is an annual appointment letter, that they would be paid? And sometimes it's 2 letters, sometimes it's 1 letter for their regular everyday work, and another letter for if they're the chair of a committee or a department head or a center director. But both of those added together, provided that they're both guaranteed, those become the institutional-based salary. And that becomes really difficult if you have a faculty member who's paid from 2 different sources. It may be the dean's office that's paying the directorship, and yet you still have to add that back in. It's interesting because in the new uniform guidance, it does address some of the issues of what can and can't get charged to federal awards, relating to both base salary and other salary. So what doesn't IBS include? IBS does not include bonuses. It doesn't include any one-time payments. And it doesn't include incentive pay. When I was at the medical school, at the dental school, they would get, for faculty who did research, they had a certain amount of research dollars, but for their clinical work, there was a guaranteed part and an incentive part. And so we had to work really carefully. We actually had to change the accounting so that we were separating those two. So one became IBS and got effort reported, and the other part did not. And then payments from other organizations do not count, and that the last piece is, and this is a complicated one, income that individuals are permitted to earn from outside the organization. So for most of us, are there any schools where faculty can't spend a day a week or 20% of their time on outside activities? Anyone not have that in there? Right, that's kind of universal at universities. And one of the things that comes up, frequently I'll get asked this, usually from departments, well, does that mean we only can account for 80%? And the answer is no, that the IBS relates to 100%, and it relates for the work done at the institution, at your university, and that 20% is not part of the 100%.